everyone. I am super excited. Today we are going to play Storm Raiders. Now, this is by Arkus game. The designer is Shem Phillips. And ta-da! We have Shem and Sam. They're going to play with us. Hello!
Hello,
Thank
hello.
you so much for being here.
It's exciting to be here. Looking
Yay.
forward to
Yeah,
playing.
thanks for having us.
So, Shem with the cap, obviously. Sam is the other one, and Tarrant. So we are going to do a 3-player playthrough of Storm Raiders. I am going to moderate. What we're going to do is we're going to get Tarrant to do an overview of the game. Although Tarrant has not played the game yet, you'll be fine. We got, please yell out if we say something wrong, maybe. And then we're going to do a playthrough of Storm Raiders. So this game is by Arkus game. It's going to Kickstarter soon. When's it going to Kickstarter?
It should be towards the end of October.
Towards the end of October it is. All right, let's have a look at the game. So we have this board. Obviously, this is a TTS. Now, how final is the rules and the version of the components, Shem?
Very final, but obviously on TTS it's going to look a lot nicer in person. So
Okay.
dual layered boards and all that fancy stuff.
So, shall we take it?
Yes, let's give a quick overview here. So we've got this nice circular board here, and the circular board has a storm on it. There's a storm over here. See the storm. And it's going to be moving around the board, and we are Storm Raiders. We're heading around here, we're picking up resources, and we're trying to complete, effectively, contracts at these different storm holds, which are nice safe places from the storm. We're also looking to build up, you'll see on our player board, each of us will be moving around the map using 3 vehicles. So we've got our trikes, we've got our planes, and we've got our subs. Well, they have some different abilities about them. And so what is going to happen on each turn or each round? We play over 6 rounds, and there are some dice in the center of the board. And on each of our turns, we are going to draft one of these dice, move it down to one of our vehicles. We have to build up our vehicles in strictly ascending order. So we're placing dice on these in strictly ascending order. We may take damage on our vehicles. So you'll see here my trike, as it says in this spot here. If I place a 5 or a 6, it's going to give me 1 damage. And so I begin the game with 1 damage here. I could build up more damage, and eventually all of those slots are going to be filled by either dice or damage, and I won't be able to use that vehicle anymore. And so that's going to work across all of the vehicles. As you go through and across the board, if we go back to the main board, these various locations give you some bonuses. So if I went to this space here, I could pick up a couple of the resources. So this would give me, I've got 3 dials on my board. This is there's mods, there's medals, and around there's crew. And if you see at my player board again, I have these dials up the top. And those are going to increase in value across the course of the game and dictate how many points each of those things is going to be worth at the end of the game. So at the moment with my character, this pipe smoking granny here, I start with 3 steps on my medal dial. So I'm going to be most likely looking to do contracts and do actions which will give me a whole lot of medals. The other places that we can go are to these storm holds here. These are contracts. So the resources on the left get spent, and the benefits on the right, as well as the points in the middle, get scored. At the end of each round, there'll be 1 die left on the board, so we'll each draft 2, and then there'll be 1 die left. And that dictates how far and in what direction the storm moves, and the storm's going to cause a whole lot of damage if it runs into you. It's also going to throw new resources out onto you. I think that's enough to get us started. I think we'll see the particulars of it as we run through.
Yeah, we'll try to explain it as we go. All right, so Tarrant is the first player.
Yes.
But you got to draft first.
Roll those
So I'm
dice.
the first player. We do have a little bit of asymmetry, so I do have a few abilities. My main character has an ability. I did forget to describe the second action, which is resting, and that's you can rest on your turn, and that's how you take dice off your
Player board.
off your player board. We'll see that when we come to it. So I've got those. I've got some special abilities on each of my vehicles, and these are unique to each player. I've also got a crew card here. I can increase or decrease a drafted die by up to 2 or destroy this card to gain 1 mod. So a number of different options available to me, largely around dice flexibility. The first thing we'll do is we will roll the dice. You'll see all the numbers we've got here. This symbol here, this spot here, that is a 1, but it counts as a wild, so you can change that to any number when you draft them. Alright, so I'm going to start by, I want to get a lot of resources early, and that can be well achieved by moving my truck. So I'm going to take this 2, and I'm going to put it here, and that will give me 2 pips worth of movement. I have these 3 vehicles, but they all they're all represented by my colored pawn. So I have 2 pips of movement. You can see there are various movement ranges here. And with my trike, I can only move along land links that don't have an aeroplane icon. So with my 2, I can move 2 pips to here. And I'm going to, with this, I'm going to grab a weapons resource. So that goes into here. And you can see up here in the top left corner of my trike, and you'll see this across all 3 of the vehicles, when you take weapons, it causes damage. So a bit of collateral damage on my vehicle there. So I will take that, but I can also take a second resource. So we'll go back to the board, and I'll grab, I'll grab this gold. Is this gold?
It's called Orichalcum. Yeah.
Very good. So I've taken 2 resources, and thematically what's going on here, I'm moving into a space with the storm, and I'm picking up resources. And with any of your other vehicles, if you take 2 resources, you will take damage, because these are slow, unwieldy vehicles. So they will, by staying a long time there and loading cargo, you will suffer damage. But the trike is speedier, so that's not going to happen.
And you do get to boost up your
and I
dial.
do get to boost my dials.
Because that is in the space of the boards, and that was this one.
Yes.
Oh, you
So
might want to
this
change.
dial.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I am going to draft this 1, which is a wild, but I'm going to leave it as a 1. I'm going to slot that onto my trike, and that's going to allow Reed to move 1 space over to here, where I'm going to decide to collect 2 resources. This is a special type of resource that would just get spent straight away, and that would allow me to pick up, are they townsfolk cards? What's the name? Sorry.
Recruit cards.
It would allow me to pick up recruit cards.
It's not a gaffle game.
2 recruit cards, and I get to keep 1, and I'm going to decide in a little bit what that's going to be, and then I will take 1 more resource as well. Let's go for this one over here. Just going to slot in there, and I also will be allowed to boost this dial, the recruit dial, and I think I'm going to take this one.
Let's go to the bottom. Nice. All right, I am going to be, dice aren't the best right here. I'm going to use my starting crew card. She can increase or decrease a die by up to 2. So I'm going to take a 3, make it into a 1 by flipping that card over, and using my trike. I'm going to move 1 space across here. I'm going to be salvaging. I'm not going to take the weaponry. I'll try and avoid damage. And I'll take these 2 and boost up my crew dial by 1. And that would be me.
Second dice draft for Tarrant.
Yeah.
I will use my trike again. I'm going to grab this 4 and put it here. And because of the ability of my trike, movement requires 1 less hour if using a 3, 4, 5, or 6. So I've used a 4. It means I can move 5 pips worth of movement out on the board. With that, from where I am at the moment, I will move here, 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 all across land. So that is 5 pips worth for a 4. Again, I'll pick up 2 resources. This time I'm going to grab this green thing. What is that? That's fuel. And I will get a crew card as well. And then I will get a step on my mod track.
Oh, the
also.
crew cards got discarded to the side, and then you get crew straight away.
Okay, so I get a crew card. Okay, and the other one goes back on the bottom.
Yep. I'll just lift them up for everyone.
So I've got a decision to make here. I can actually determine the direction the storm goes.
Ooh.
So if I draft this black die, it's going to be forced to go back in the grey direction, which will suit me. It means I can come out to this spot and be safe from the storm. So I think I will do that. I'm going to draft this 3 to my plane. I won't use my plane's ability yet, but that will allow me to move up here 3 pips. And I think I will take 2 of these. So I'm going to do that, which is going to come with a damage.
Oh yeah, using.
And that is also going to boost this dial by 1. Fantastic. I think that's me.
Now I've got a great option here, 5 or a 5. And I don't really want to put a big 5 on my bike straight away, but I might have to. I think I will just take a 5, obviously. Kind of wish I'd saved my power for this turn now. I can decrease this die by 1 because my trike lets me decrease or increase grey dice by 1. So I'll make it a 4. It's not too bad. And I'm going to travel back to where I started. I'm going to spend 1 mechanical machinery for that contract.
Nice.
It's going to come over here.
The
And I
first
get
contract.
I get a mod.
Overachiever.
I have played this before. A mod in the middle. So I can choose where this mod goes. It's going to cover a damage of some sort. And I think, based on what I just did, I might place this over here so that I can now freely place 5s and 6s on my trike without taking damage.
Nice. So let's just go through quickly. This is the first contract with a chief. So the left-hand side on the round is the one that you have to pay. And then the right-hand side is the benefit. Is that correct?
That's right. And each round, the ones that aren't fulfilled will get flipped, which basically turns what was a medal into a mod. So maybe I should have waited longer and got more mods. Who knows?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. That's the end of the round. So this die is going to come up here. We're going to, because it's grey, the storm is going to turn around and go the other way. It's going to keep persisting that way until another grey gets placed up there. It's going 5 spaces and it follows this blue storm path. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No one got hit, so everyone's safe. But up here at the top of the board, it tells us if it moves 5 to 9 spaces, we place 1 resource at each wreck site that it passed through. So 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then these 4 contracts are flipping over. A new one is coming out to this spot. Big 8-pointer.
Yes. The contract is flipping because of the storm movement.
Yeah, and if these ones remain here this round, they'll get a damage put on them. And if they're still there the next round, they'll get removed.
Right.
Yeah. So each round this happens. All right, and then the first play marker passes clockwise. We're getting out dice based on the player count, which is this little iconography at the top of the board. And then Sam gets to roll them. And also, in the 3-player game, on the even rounds, we're placing a medal on the highest die. If there's both colors, it goes on black. So if anyone takes this black 6, they get a medal.
Ooh.
Extra juicy. I do like that.
And you can still manipulate that die with your abilities.
So I can manipulate the die with the medal.
Yeah. You've got a power for it. You can.
Spend 2 less hours. That's different though. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I realize I've got all the resources I need to fulfill this contract. So it seems pretty lovely. I can get there with a 4. So I think I will just put the 4 down onto my plane. I'm going to sail over here.
That's 3 and that's 1. Pip. Yep, 4.
And then I will be able to drop all of these off and take this, which is going to come with 2 mods.
Nice.
And I think I like the idea of being able to salvage a lot. So perhaps I'll do this one. And my plane, maybe I'll just leave it for now. Maybe I'll have the opportunity to get weaponry with my trike. Great. Okay, that's my turn.
Lovely. I think I will, since the dice are so terrible, I'm going to take that 6. I'm going to put it on my trike, so I get the medal that came with it. And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over to here. And I'm going to take some weaponry and maybe some fuel. Because I took weaponry, I have to take a damage. So my trike is done. And I get to increase my medal dial by 1, which is good because I got 2 of them. So now they're at least worth some points. Did I move that all right? Can't quite see.
Yes, so the contract I wanted is gone, which is very disappointing.
Thanks to Sam, was it?
Sorry, buddy.
So, question, with my crew card, I have an ability to take 1 salvage before moving, take no damage.
You can
I
take that
these
weaponry.
weapons, no
freely.
damage. No
Yep.
damage for anything.
Good time to use it.
Alright, so I shall flip this guy over and grab these weapons for free
Yes, that's
without
his
taking any damage.
spell, yep.
And I will also finish off my trike. I shall take this 5, my player board. Now, I've actually overfinished my trike here, so I have to take a damage. There is no space for damage on my trike, so instead I suffer personal damage.
Damage
Now
to
this
the
is-
face.
Yes.
This is bad if you leave it at the end of the game because it's multiplayer for negative points.
Yeah, I'll be right. Because from my standpoint, I can never take damage on my sub because that's my sub's ability. So my theory is I'm not going to have that much damage.
Yeah.
We'll
Well.
see how that works. So I took the 5. Because of my trike's power, I can move 6 pips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Get the big 8-point
I
contract.
get the big 8-point contract, so I spend the ingot and 2 wild weapons. Move that up to the discard pile. And grab this. And that will also give me 1 medal.
Shiny.
Okay. So the weapon is a wild one?
Yes,
Yes.
weapons are wild for contracts. Okay, so now I'm leaning into my starting ability, or my starting dial power.
I'm in a little bit of trouble here because there's high values and I can't determine where the storm's going to be, even with a draft. So I might be putting myself in danger. The other thing I could do is stay where I am and rest. But I was hoping to achieve a little bit more before resting, since I haven't flipped any of my crew. So that would waste the refresh. So
Yeah.
with that in mind, I might just have to... What is the penalty for getting hit by the storm again?
Each vehicle takes 1 damage.
Okay. Each vehicle takes damage. Yeah, that would hurt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could get here.
Taking the
This will
5
be
back.
safe if I draft this 6. I can get up here and be safe. So I think that's what I'm going to do if I can get over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so because I've drafted a 6 here, I will take a damage. And I'm going to zoom through here. And now I will take 2 resources and I'll boost this medal dial. Let's take this. And what else looks good? I'll take orichalcum. All right, that's me.
I had a really cool plan for that grade 6, so thanks, Sam. That's
Good.
awesome. Instead, I'll take a 5, and I could take that one, and it will go black. Yeah, I think that's probably good. So I'll take this. Usually, I could remove dice from my Trike and sub that are equal to a grey dice on my plane, but I have no 5s, so that's not happening. But I will travel straight over here and fulfill this contract. Paying 1 electricity, resource, 1 ammo, and do this one, which gives me a mod. And also lets me remove a die. So I think I'll remove the one I just picked up. So that my plane's back to order. And I'll probably block this one now. So now I can take 2 items with my plane without being penalized.
It's interesting that you have the work to remove your die. It reminds me a little bit of Cold Express. I don't know if you play that. Not Cold Express, sorry. The other die one, the Steampunk Rally.
Oh yeah, Steampunk Rally.
Yes,
Yep.
sorry, not.
Yeah, managing
Steampunk.
your vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought of it now. Oh yeah. It's like you have to work to remove it. You don't just go immediately.
Yep.
Right, so I now know which direction the storm is going to go. It will definitely continue moving anti-clockwise, so I can definitely get myself to safety. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not going to smash into anybody, so that choice means nothing. So I should just take 2. Bring the 2. I'll pop it down on my plane. So I could go and grab a metal step and a parchment, or a cruise step and a couple of resources.
And this one here removes health, which you might not be cared for currently, but
Yeah.
that's the one way you can pull down your health tracker
Yes.
in a good
It's
way.
also crew. Oh yeah.
It's early game still, you know.
And if I want metals, I need to have the resources to do it. So I'm going to move over to here. I'm going to get both of these salvage and 1 step on my crew track. And that gives me 1 damage.
That will give you 2 damage.
2 damage.
1 for the weaponry and 1 for taking 2 items on your plane.
That's a lot of damage. I probably shouldn't do that.
You'll be right.
That's no damage now if you take just the 1.
That's what I'll do instead. Already being a bit foolhardy with my damage, I think. So,
Cool. And you increased your dial, was that right?
yes.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's the end of that round. So now it's going 5 spaces this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Resources each of those spots.
Is that right? I picked up 5.
Doesn't
One,
start.
two.
Doesn't
Yeah.
drop 1 where it started. Yep.
Cool.
There should be 1 here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he dropped over here. Here it was.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
We'll put it back. Here we go. All right. So these contracts haven't been fulfilled yet. So they will now cause a damage because the places are under fire. Think Mad Max kind of vibes, you know, for the Stormholds.
Yes. Yeah, it does. Is that the inspiration of the design, Shem?
No, but lots of different things like that. Yeah, have inspired the theme for sure. Indiana Jones, you know.
It's just a different game rather than the previous Arkus games. The first one was Shellfish Stacker, which is also Shem's game.
Yep.
And the second one is Dreadful Meadow, which is not yours, but you're part of Arkus game at that point.
Yeah, much more family friendly or lighter kind of themes, fun
Yes.
themes. It's a bit more serious, but
This is
still
more serious.
quite an approachable game. Still.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a not heavy game like your other game. And
Yeah,
the one that's
the next-
coming up also.
All right, so I'm up first. I roll the dice, and I think my trike is still smashed to pieces. I'm not at a port, so I can't use my sub. So
You're resting. Oh no, you still have
Okay.
your other vehicle.
yeah, my plane's still functioning.
That's
Fortunately.
right.
But I'm quite far away from things from my plane. Resting wouldn't be a bad move. Maybe I should rest. I'll take a 6 grey. So when you rest, you follow these steps. So the first thing is to refresh one of your crew cards. So I get to flip this back. the next step is for every 2 pips on the die that you drafted, you can remove 1 damage. So with a 6, I can remove 3 damage. So I will take away, I think, these 3 damage.
Nice.
And then you remove all dice of the same value and higher value. So the 2 6s are going away. And the ones will stay because they're too low. And then I get either 1 crew, 1 mod, or 1 medal. And currently they're all with 1 point to me. So I think I'll go for crew just for some versatility. So I get to draw 2 crew. I think I'll take that one. And then...
And were you supposed to take a medal with that 6 as the highest die?
No, not on this round. It'll be the next
Oh, not
round.
on this round.
And then I get to use Anya's ability, which is removing 2 extra dice. So I actually can remove these dice as well.
Nice.
So she likes taking higher dice when she rests because she can always remove 2 dice anyway. And that would be my turn.
What a boss. Love it.
I know.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah.
Exciting that I'm gonna see you two at Essenspiel in a few
Yeah,
weeks.
that's coming up.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Yeah.
I might actually be able to wake up in time for breakfast this time, Stella. Get me up at 6:30 a.m. for
Sorry.
breakfast.
That was at Gen Con. That was so early because that's the only time that I think that, yeah, it's kind of like a casual. If you want to come, you can come because all the nights has been filled up. So I'll have to look where is the breakfast place in Essen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
I was up till like 1:30 that night or something. So I was really planning to come for breakfast, but I just couldn't. I couldn't
Oh,
hack
that's
it.
so late. Nah, I couldn't wake up that early. I had to. I thought I was. I almost late, so I had to take the electric scooter. I was like rushing
Oh
with the
yeah,
scooter.
I used those as well. They were
Yeah,
good.
they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is your first Essen, Sam?
No, I've been
Will
once
be?
before. I went
Okay.
in 2019, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
2018.
And Shem?
Yeah.
Shem's been as
This will
well,
be
I'm
my
sure.
third, I think. Yeah.
Third, yeah. Nice. And you have a booth. Where's your booth so everyone can come and visit?
It's in Hall 2. I can't remember the actual booth off the top of my head, but it's in Hall 2.
I'll tell you what it is. Give me a moment. Okay. It will be 2D106.
There you go.
There you go. I've written it down. Thank you very much. Is this Tarrant's turn now?
It's my turn. I'm going to take a 2 and add it to my sub. I think this is our first sub movement.
Right, so
Nice.
subs will be usually a 4 minimum. Just so it's always the cost going out plus the cost going in.
That's right.
Yep.
These two.
Oh yes, all right. Let me.
We do that?
Forgot that.
That's okay. Do you want to get the 5? Do you have any dice modifier?
You do have your starting crew still as well.
What happens to the damaged contracts in the next round? Do they
They'll
get
be
one
removed.
more?
So it's our
They're
last
removed.
chance to get those 2. Yep.
Okay.
In recognizing what you said, if I want this contract, I have to get it this round. So I'm going to aim to make that happen. I'm going to take this 5, and I'm going to use the ability on this particular crew member. Flip that down and turn this into a 6. And that's going to allow me to do sub movements. This is the first sub movement. I'm leaving
Nice.
a port which has a value of 3. And I can go to any other port
Up to the value of 3. I mean,
up
it's
to the value of 3. So they're all 2s and 3s. So I'm going
Yes.
to come all the way over here. And I'm going to take these 2 fuel. So now I have 3 fuel.
nice.
And although I have not covered this mod, which would refer to damage, and likewise, although I've placed a 6, which would normally get damage, my sub cannot be damaged. And then what is my dial on this space?
That's the crew dial.
Crew dial. So I'm not being very targeted with my dials, and I think that's going to harm me at the end, but we shall see.
All right, brilliant. Well, I also want to use my sub, but a 3 isn't going to do it, so I'm going to have to use this crew member to increase a 3 to a 4. And should I be thinking about which color I want? It's not really going to matter, so I'm going to just take this one. With that 4, I can go 2 plus 2 all the way over here. And then I've got a choice about what resources I want. I'm not going to be able to do this because I don't have a wild resource. that last tool isn't going to come in. So I'm going to keep my options open. Take those two, which will get me, it won't get me a damage because I've got that mod. And now I can
Nice.
use my subs ability to remove 1 die from my plane or 2 from my trike. Now that's interesting. I think I will remove 2 from my trike.
Nice.
And the last thing is to increase my crew dial.
Right.
Cool. That's me.
Great. I think I will just take a 3 on my trike.
It's very mean of you.
What does Shem know that you need it?
It's
No,
like, you know
I'm
what? I
sure
don't
he's
like
just going
Shem.
to
I don't
sit.
like that guy. I'm going to get these 2 that are here and boost my...
Brutal.
Sorry, so does that mean that Tarrant can't get to that contract?
Yep.
Oh, really? What a bully.
He
I'm
pretends
sorry.
he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I would take it back, but now, I don't
Nah,
know,
it's okay.
you know. Cool. That would be me done.
It's all right. This is my first play, and by demonstrating that I lose greatly, it is proof that there is strategic depth to the game.
There you go.
I
Is that
believe you, my
in-
crowbar. She's all the way over here, so...
Oh no, that's gonna get destroyed, I'm sure. Is there any other contract? No. This is back to Tarrant, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's your last turn before the storm moves as well.
The good news, Taryn,
Might as
is
well
that
move into its
you
path.
want medals which come on new ones. So a magic one might show up here next turn anyway. So
I'm sure it will have exactly 3 fuel on it as
I'm
well.
sure it will too. Yes.
I know with all those 2s out there, I'm safe from the storm in my current location, so I shall use the opportunity to rest. I'll take this 2, but because of my ability, I can choose the value of my resting die. So I will make it into a 4.
Granny's is good at resting. Great.
So I can refresh one of my people. So let me see. Take one. I think this one's more helpful to me at the moment. I remove 1 damage per 2 pips. So I'll get rid of those.
Per 2 pips because it's number 4.
Yep. I remove all dice which are 4s or higher. No. Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
4 higher.
All dice which are 4s or higher. So then I will gain 1 medal.
Come in. Here it comes. There you go. Now you're well rested.
All right. This isn't going to hurt me either way, but maybe I want to decide where I want the storm to be blocking. And perhaps it's mean, but there's a whole bunch of resources here, and I want to make it a little bit harder for Tarrant to get them. So I'll take this
Sorry.
one.
Make it sound like we're ganging up on Tarrant, Sam.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I couldn't really hit you right then. So I've only just met Tarrant. Sorry, man. I do this with everyone. Don't worry.
Especially me. So don't
All right.
I
So
agree, yeah.
I'm drafting this 2 onto my trike, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to salvage these 2 resources, which doesn't get me a damage, and that's going to boost the dial for my mods.
Cool.
I'm really pushing my luck, and I haven't rested yet. But
The storm is turning around, going 1, 2. And it only moves 2 spaces. It drops 3 on each location. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. So we do have a big bounty over here, but no one can get to it. Right.
lot
And
of
now we remove these 2. They're gone. These 3 will flip. Here you go, Tarrant. Is it good? That's not that good.
There you go.
Not at all.
Probably the worst possible thing. Yeah. All right. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Tarrant is first player. He's to roll the dice.
And we will get a medal on the... Do we get a
Yes.
medal on the top die? We do.
On the highest die, yep. So you can go ahead and roll those.
There you go. Yay,
give me
I'm
a
playing.
grey set.
Wow.
Yahtzee.
So it makes perfect sense for me to grab that one because I can treat 6s as wild on my plane.
Right.
Nice.
Or the wild one, so no one else can get it. Or you get medal.
He's
Grab
collecting
myself
his
a
medals. It's looking pretty
Yeah,
healthy
that's
there.
true. That's true.
Nice play.
Let's say I do. If I can fly over here, that will cost me a 3. So I'll turn this into a 3. And I will move along here. And I'll scan to see if anyone has what they need to steal this from me. Someone does. Right, so this one has a mod dial step. I have no mods yet, which is not very helpful. And I think that's what I'm struggling to do at the moment is link together all of the different implications on, you've only got 12 actions, but it's impacting your dials, your ability to take contracts, and your locations. So
You've got to be picky.
yes, not being picky enough. That's all right.
Well, I've got a lot of resources, but surprisingly, I can't fulfill many of these contracts.
Oh, and sorry, before we finish, I took 2 things with my plane, so I damage it.
Oh yeah.
So with these resources, I could fulfill this one, but I'm not really hunting medals. So that's the slight awkward thing here. Maybe I'll just do it anyway. It's possible that I'll be in danger of the storm, but I will have another turn to skedaddle after that. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll take this 1 and it can be turned to any value. So I'm going to make it a 5, and that 3 plus 2 gets me over there via my sub. I'm going to spend these 2 resources, and that gets me this, which comes with my first 2 medals.
Nice.
I didn't want that contract anyway.
This time it wasn't intentional, but this just happens, I guess. And then I get to use my subs ability, and at this time, I will take 1 damage away. 1 die away. 1 die from your plane. Oh, before it was 2 damage from my trike rather than 2 dice from my trike. I got that wrong before, but anyway. Okay, that's me.
Cool. I'm going to take this wild and make it a 5 on my trike. And I'm going to skedaddle, as Sam called it, over here. In fact, what I will do instead, I'll put that wild back. No, I won't. I'll still take it anyway. Oops. I think it's a 3. Yeah, on my plane over here. And I'll take both these items. I have blocked the one that deals double damage to that, but I will take 1 damage for the weaponry. And it was a mod location. So now I've got 2 points per mod.
I'll draft this grey 6. I'll flip this crew to turn this down into a...
Yep.
And with that, I shall move 3 over to here. This is my trike, so I can grab both of these, and it gives me a crew member dials.
I'll grab the crew. Out.
Now I
Nice.
get to crew. Remove 1 die from my sub, or remove 1 damage from my sub. Well, that's a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah.
This one back to the bottom.
Cool. Well, I wanted to come over here, but there's no way I can guarantee I'll be safe.
Yeah.
So I think perhaps I should rest. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to draft this
Rest.
4. Yeah, exactly. So that lets me refresh this crew. I get to remove 2 damage dice. It's tricky, but I'll do those 2. And then I get to remove everything that was 4 or higher. So it's these 2. And I can gain a crew, a medal, or a mod. Oh, that's a cool decision. think
crew
where am I in on crew's close to scoring good points. So is mods. I'm going to take a crew, and I believe that's me.
And you've got this power as well.
Nice.
And I got this handsome fella, so I'm just going to have to take that one. Absolutely going to have to take that one.
Nice. Who's the artist for this one, Shem?
That was done by Paul Tobin.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, Paul from Arkus.
From Arkus, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
All right, I will lose 1 medal to increase this one. Keep my options open.
So Sam's character can burn medals for reputation in other areas.
Cool. That's me.
Cool. I'll be taking I should have pointed out earlier as well. The storm will go 1 additional space this round, so
Yes.
it's more dangerous than you may have thought. But I'll be taking the 6 and using my sub. It does let me refresh a crew card, so I'm actually going to use this first to remove this die. And when I use my sub, I can refresh it back. And I'll go down here for 6, pay those 2 resources, and gain a medal and 6 points.
Nice.
And that's the end of round 4. All right, so we
I
are
had strong
5,
trust this time, but
5 spaces.
out of the goodness
1,
of your heart,
2,
you wouldn't
3,
leave
4.
the one that would.
And 1, 2, 3,
It worked
4,
out, right?
5. Put all these back in the bag now that it's empty.
Calculated.
And we've got some more damage coming out on these contracts. Stormholds are under fire. And we'll need to put 1 here and 1 where I was. Sam becomes first player. So now the storm's going 2 spaces.
Didn't mean to take
Extra.
that.
Or did you?
I want to take these.
4 actions left each.
Okay, so that yes, that one's getting a medal.
That's in the
No,
last round.
that's not at 3 players.
Yeah. Only 1, 2, or 4.
Lots of wilds.
So there are a lot of wilds. If I don't take 1 now, I'm guaranteed 1 on my next turn. I'm quite happy with a 3. And I'm going to zoom across this area. Oh, it's tempting to pick up 2 crew. I should probably collect stuff for fulfilling contracts. Yeah, that's probably the right move.
2 crews, 4 points currently.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tempting.
Not to bait you, but you know.
Is there any chance there's a crew that would let me pick something up at the start of my turn?
Well, I've seen one of them already.
Okay, so they do. They
2
might
each.
exist. I'm gonna play it safe. Give myself other options on my next turn. So I'll take 1 crew, and that's going to boost this medal marker, which I don't really want to boost, but oh well.
I could clear my sub again and use it, which is nice. What I might do is use my crew to remove this grey die. And I want to sub into this like massive reward area. So I'll need a 5 on my sub. So I'll take a wild, make it 5. I can refresh a crew card and jump in here. And I think I'll take these 2, which is going to cause me to take 2 damage on my sub. But hey, what's a bit of damage, eh? And move up my middle dial. Almost at 2 points for everything. Play this up, but that's me, done.
Does this icon remove a die or remove a damage?
Remove a die.
Cool.
This one lets you increase 1 dial to increase another. This is
Nice.
a random
Oh,
resource from the
nice.
bag.
I like it.
I shall take a wild. My trike, I will have to flip this into a 5. And with that, I will move here. I'll take a weapon and a step on my crew dial. 1 weapon, 1 step on my crew dial. And because I took a weapon, 1 damage. Okay, done.
think that one was 2 damage, right? 1 for the weaponry and 1 for the 5.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be.
That storm is looking menacing. I really want to be greedy and come here, but it's going to backfire. I know it.
You can take it, Sam.
So with that in mind, perhaps I don't really want to fulfill this now. That's the thing. I don't really want the medal. If I took the grey die, it's still going to come back there.
So the grey and black die, they only matters for storm movement. Is that correct? Not when you take it?
There's a few abilities which apply only to one color of die.
Yeah, tricky. Right. Okay. I'm just fulfilling that contract because I can, not because I really want it. Okay, I think I still will do it though. So that's I'm gonna draft this and treat it as a 3. And I can put the same die, sequential dice. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm coming over here and I'm going to spend those resources.
Yep. So that is the power. Otherwise, you can't use 2 dice next to each other of the same. It has to be.
Comes with a medal.
Has to be higher. Sorry, equal to higher.
And it lets me remove
higher.
a die.
Cool. I will also be doing a contract. I was weighing up this one, but I'm actually going to drive all the way across here into this one because it gives me 2 items. So I'm going to take this grey 6 on my truck and speed on over here, paying 1 ammo as... No, I don't need to. I can pay the right types. I have to take this damage, but it comes with a mod and a medal.
Nice.
And I think I'll likely use this character to remove that grey 6 on my next turn, but we'll leave it there for now. And this will, I think, might place that. I think I'll place it here. It's a bit of ammo out there still. That's me.
Okay, I needed the high numbers to do anything, so I'm going to have to rest. Now, if I... doesn't matter which die I take because I can change it to...
Maybe I could have actually handled getting hit by the storm. It wouldn't have been too bad. Maybe I should have done that.
So from a resting standpoint, it doesn't matter which die I take. From a practical standpoint, I'm going to get smashed by the storm if I don't take the black one. So that's what I'll take. I will turn this into a 4, I think. That's probably the buffer zone for what I'm doing. I need my trike, so I'll take away these dice, these damage. I get to flip back one of these. Gain a medal, a mod, or a crew. For all my effort on medals, I'm actually now probably doing slightly better on crew. And the crew might give me that
Something
ability
else
I need to get something good. So, alright, so these are my options. I'll take this one into my collection and we'll return this one to the bottom of the deck. Alright.
End of round 5. So it's going grey, so it's going around and going 5 spaces.
Wow.
So spinning around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blocking that nice place I was hoping to go back to. Out 5 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the last round, and I believe I'm first player. This contract is going away. So it's this one. And then this one is flipping, and we're getting 4 new contracts. 2, 3, and 4. All right. 4, 1, 2, 3. So only 2 actions left. Often you're thinking like, well, one of those actions be resting to remove damage.
Oh, is it negative points? Oh, yeah, it's over here.
Yeah, this tells you how much each damage is worth in negative points.
One of those grey 5s will get a medal.
Yes, thank you. I think I'm probably going to do one contract and then rest. I think it's most likely my play. I have 2 wilds on my board. So, of course, the best one's the furthest one away. All right, so this one's quite good though. So there'll be a 3 on my trike. So I'm going to use my crew to remove this grey die. I'll take the wild with the medal. And my trike, I can reduce it by 1. Not that it actually matters. And I'll go up here and use one of my ammo weaponry to fulfill that, which gives me another medal. And I can remove 1 damage. So I'll just remove 1 from my sub. And I will, I think, lastly use this crew. I can basically throw it away to gain a mod. So I'll just chuck it there. I'm not going to use it probably. Just because mods are worth 2 points, crew's only worth 1 point for me. So that's me.
Okay. I shall flip this one to remove a grey die from my...
Which one, sorry? This one?
This one?
Yep.
To remove a grey die from my plane. Then I'll put a 3 on my plane. Move over to this stormhole. That's going to cost me 1, 2, 3
Finally.
mechanical, and I grab this contract. And that will give me a medal
Any more?
and my first mod.
Yes.
Which is worth 2 points. So yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Well, I'm going to take this 5 and put it on my sub. When I use my sub, I can remove 2 damage from my trike. So I think I'm going to sub just this short distance. Oh, sorry, Reed. Here we go. And I'm going to take that. And the second resource doesn't really matter, but I'm not getting punished for it. Suppose I'll grab that. And that's going to increase this dial by 1. And I'm going to use one of these abilities, which this beautiful one here, remove 1 damage from your plane.
Damage-free life, Sam.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. And sadly, there's no 6s, so I can only remove 2 damage. So it's only going to save me 2 points if I rest. Plus, give me 2 points from whatever I collect. So my turn's only worth 4 points. This is actually worth 5 points to me. Although I will lose 1 resource, so it's actually pretty much the same. Probably best to deny that from someone else. Although I don't have the pips, do I? So I guess I'm resting. All right, so I'll take a 4. I get to remove 2 damage. And I don't think I'll be getting a crew, so remove those 2. I get to refresh 1, which doesn't really matter. And remove all the 4s and higher. And then I get to choose 1 thing. So it's a medal or a mod for the worth most points. So I just get my last medal.
Look at all those medals.
I know, but they're only worth 2 points each.
A lot. 777, isn't it? It's
that's
7
the maxes.
medals.
Yeah.
I shall take this black 3. With my trike's power, I can move 4 pips worth. So I'll move over to here. I have enough to fulfill this one. Grab that. And that will score me a medal. 5th medal. And a reducing my
Nice.
health losses, so 2 points of benefit in there.
Beautifully done.
Now, I could throw this one away to get a mod, but I think my crew My
Focus on
crew
the
and my mods are worth the same, so there's no difference there. Okay.
Is this where this is? The storm isn't going to matter. It's not going to hit anyone. We're all in the safe houses.
Mhm.
So I'm going to draft this 3, and I believe that I can spend 2 less hours if I'm
I don't
interpreting
think
this correctly.
you're not in a safe house at the moment, are you? Oh, you're moving.
So
to
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but
Yep.
-2. Is that right, Shem?
That's correct.
Cool. All right.
Your maths adds up.
And I will
Or you
do
want
this
to that.
contract, which isn't amazing for me, but I will not complain. This is still points. That gets me medal and 3 points. Oops.
Cool. And the storm would move 6 spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hit no one. So that is the end of the game. So now we'll tally up our
Oh.
points.
All right, so maybe we should do this one at a time
Sure.
so that we can show who should probably do yours first, Tarrant? You were the
I'll
first player.
do. Yeah, sure. That's the reason.
Yeah.
I have 19 in raw contract points.
Yep.
All of my dials are 2 points, which means I get 2 per medal, 2 per crew, and 2 per mod. I have 1 mod, 4 crew, 5 medals, so 2 times 10 is 20. Takes me to 39. I have 2 damage at -1 point per damage, takes me to 37. And have I forgotten anything?
Just your remaining resources, 1 point.
1 point each, so 40 points.
Sorry, 1 point per pair. So
Ah,
1 point
38
total.
Okay.
points.
38. All right. So second
Nice.
player was Sam.
Yeah, so I've got 18 from my contracts. I'm scoring 2 points per mod, and I've got 2 of them, so that's 4. I'm only scoring 1 point per medal. 3 of them is 3. 3 points per crew. I've got 4 of them, so that's 12. I don't have any negative points, and then I've got 1 point worth of resources.
38 as well.
So that's
Ooh,
38.
Wow.
There we go. I thought I
And watch Shem crack
I thought I
60.
was
I don't think so.
last.
What's the tiebreaker for last?
Least amount of damage, I believe it is, and then it's
Yeah, yes.
leftover resources, I think,
Back
from
at
memory.
last then.
15, 17, 21 from my contracts.
21. Yep.
I'm getting 2 points per mod. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8. 2 points per medal, so 14. And 1 point per my lazy crew by himself. 1 point for my leftover, and I'm losing 2 points from my damage. So just cross those off, which leaves me with 12, 13, 43.
53.
Well done.
Ah, well done.
Done.
43
played.
is so it's 43. Well, I mean, 43 to 38 doesn't seem too far.
Close.
No, a really
Yeah.
good score is like high 40s or 50s.
Okay.
yeah.
That's good.
So-
Good first game, Tarrant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well
I did
played.
better than I thought. Those last couple contracts in the last round,
Snatched.
I was set up for them. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
got
can
some
certainly
high scoring ones.
you can certainly see the combos with the getting crew that really work well with your
Yeah.
vehicles.
Yeah, and there'll be 8 different trikes, 8 different subs, and 8 different planes, 8 different characters. So how you get them laid out is, makes a difference for how you focus each game. And then the pro version would be like you kind of build your setup, or you can get dealt 2 of each and choose the combination. So that adds like lots of different variety with each game, which is fun. But it's all
Nice.
about like seeing where the storm is, seeing what other people are looking for, trying to get the right spot with the right resources, while managing all your damage and all your dice amidst all of that. So yeah,
And there'd be a promo trike, which is a Robin Reliant. It's like getting knocked over by Mr. Bean's.
Absolutely right. You heard it here first.
there's a trike that can go into the
Mr.
storm.
Bean's blue
That's
one.
fun. Yeah, lots of cool powers though.
Nice. That's really cool. It is kind of like a medium complexity. It's not that complex. It's just the decision of the contract fulfillment, point-to-point movement.
Yeah.
But then the dice drafting is nice as well. It's
There's a lot
additional.
to think about, and you get a lot done in
Yeah.
12 actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of about this. You only get 12 turns, but every turn does matter a lot. So yeah.
So anything you want to share about the game? Anything at all the theme, what inspired you? Or
Yes,
strategy?
I got contacted by Paul Tobin, who at the time was a senior concept artist at Weta Workshop. He'd done a lot of work
Yes.
behind Lord of the Rings and Ghost in a Shell and Narnia and stuff. He
Yep.
designed a lot of the armor and the weapons that you see in those movies. So he had this idea for this IP, the Atlantis kind of world, and he contacted me. I think it was like 7 years ago, saying like, "Can you make me a game in this world?" I think he had played Forbidden Desert, and he said that game is like perfect for the world he wanted to build in. The
Nice.
storms swirling around the world, it's all chaos and things. So I think I redesigned this game over those 7 years about 4 or 5 times, like from the ground up. We had the same kind of core things of the game needed to have, but then just the game wasn't working. So it's been really like 2 years of this version, testing it and tweaking it. So yeah, it's a really fun world. We want to make more games in this world as well.
Nice.
But the art's done by Paul Tobin and our mate Dane, who's done a lot of the characters and vehicles as well, and all this cool 3D rendering that you see on the components. So,
yeah, that's really cool. Even the
yeah.
back of the card and the playboard. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see how it
So-
looks like in the physical copy.
it's going to look amazing on the table for sure.
Yeah, I believe you there. It is. So you saying about this is the first one in the same world. So you're already working on the second and third one, maybe.
Not just
Something
yet.
that you can't
No,
say.
We're
Okay,
not, we're not as crazy as Garfield Games, but no, we're yeah, we definitely want to do more games in this world for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so everything's going to be under the Arkus Games banner.
Yeah,
And that's going to be
yeah.
the next few games. I mean, your North Kingdom, West Kingdom, South, and then Tigris now, that all works as kind of like in the same universe, like
Yeah.
for each direction. So I guess it's been, working for you. So this is it. This is your next baby.
Yeah, it's fun
Arkus
having like a
games.
world you can play in and you can, experiment in, and you kind of gives yourself restrictions on the game. So you're not just like the sky's the limit. You have to work within a sort of framework, which for as designers is quite freeing in a way.
Yeah.
You say, oh no, we're not going to do that at all. We're doing this, and you focus on it. So it works for
Nice.
us for Garfield. And then we've got a bit more open design space for Arkus. We haven't really defined what Arkus is or who they are as a publisher. So
Yes.
it's kind of more, I'm in like a playground to like trying things out. So
Yeah.
fun.
So is Sam involved in this project as well? In this-
Not yet. Who knows?
Not yet.
You might have some games in the works. We'll see.
Okay. Sam, anything that you want to shout out to?
Just Paul and Nicola, my Arkus buddies. Yeah.
And Sam?
Just check this game out. It's great.
All right. Thank you so much, Shem and Sam, for playing this with us and showing us how it plays. And everyone, please do check it out. I will put the link below when I do have the link to the Kickstarter page. And hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.